Hi everyone, it's me Sarifa and Safari, and today we'll be doing natural disasters. So, a certain event that has a very unfortunate consequence, that means certain event that consequence is very bad, is known as a disaster. Disasters can occur by natural factors and are known as natural disasters. So, if a disaster is natural, it produced by nature, it is known as natural disasters. Okay, some of the natural disasters occur periodically, while some all of a sudden. So now examples are floods, cyclones, tsunamis, earthquake, lightning, etc. Floods. Floods when small amount of water overflow onto dry land. With a large amount of water, suppose there is rain going on for almost say like it has not stopped for 90 days, then obviously flood will occur, right? Because water will overflow from the rivers, will spread on the dry land. Okay, clouds are there, the sun is not shining. Sun is not shining means evaporation will also not take place. Okay, so flood can cause suddenly or periodically. The periodic flood occur during the rainy season. So flood means water gets clotted. So when will water get clot? In the summer season? No. In the winter season? No. Obviously in the monsoon or the rainy season. Okay. So this is periodic, but a sudden, suppose there is a very heavy there's a very heavy pressure created over seas and oceans, and suddenly there is flood. This is certain. The heavy rainfall causes the rivers to overflow their banks. The sudden flow causes due to the obstruction of river through a path, damage, or a dam or a water reservoir. So when we obstruct water to move from a place, then obviously it will produce flood. Areas will be flooded. So flood also occur due to rapid melting of glaciers and bursting of dams. So water in every liquid has a pressure. Similarly, water is also creating pressure, and so what happens? The dams, the walls of the dams, when it's not built with built with a strong metal, then it breaks, and therefore floods occur. Okay, it breaks to all directions, and therefore there is not a straight path for the river to flow. So floods occur. And melting of glaciers. Melting means its ice is converted into water. Water is overflowing. Okay, so therefore melting. Flood causes damage to property and disturb the normal life of the people. Obviously, okay, it will flow away houses. Houses will flow. Okay, it can seriously disrupt public and private transport by cutting off roads and railways. How can suppose the water of the flood is coming up to your neck, then how will you drive a car over there? Is it possible? Obviously not. And therefore cutting roads and railways as well as communication lines. In some places there are waters that are going up to the communication lines also, electrical lines. Okay, such as telephones. Moreover, the water becomes stagnant and cause breeding of mosquitoes, because water becomes stagnant. Okay, that's why it leads to flood. Otherwise, if water flow would be able to flow, then why would flood be there? Okay, which brings hazard to malaria and other waterborne diseases. Clear water is not found. Okay, now safety measures. When flood strike, move to the higher areas such as the roofs of the house or the top hills of the hills. So in the lower layer, gradually water will come and then up to the higher layer. So move as high as you can. Keep a first aid kit ready if anything is necessary, such as anyone has any disease at any time. Keep a first aid kit ready. Always keep adequate stock of fresh water and dry food items, not wet, because wet will get spoiled, but dry will not get spoiled. So keep adequate stock of fresh water, because water becomes very unhygienic at that moment of time. Keep waterproof bags for packing food items, clothes, and important documents. Now, if you don't use waterproof bags, then what will happen? Water will get inside those bags, and which are not waterproof, and then what will happen? Your documents and your foods and your clothes will get disrupted. They will get wet. Now, cyclones are strong winds which are accompanied by heavy rainfall. They are common in the coastal areas, because cyclone always occurs in the sea due to high pressure at a area point. Okay, so due to variation in pressure, cyclone occurs. So they always occur in the sea. So they are commonly in the coastal areas. Okay, they cause landslide and floods. Okay, so cyclones can uproot everything. It's a storm actually, a very very heavy storm. Uproot trees, plants, and inflict heavy damage to crops. They can cause heavy loss of life and livestock. They can inflict heavy damage to ships, boats, and port infrastructure. So they inflict damage to ships, port, and port infrastructure. Now, what are the safety measures which we must take? Do not move out unless and until it is required. Keep your emergency phone numbers of police, ambulance, and fire brigade handy. Because see, obviously, police is everywhere necessary. Actually, it's not only to catch the cops; it's also to help out people. Ambulance if anybody gets sick at any moment of time. Okay, fire brigade because when the cyclone will strike, there will be uproot of trees and also of electric wires. Okay, so therefore, if a short circuit anyhow takes place, fire brigade has to be called actually. Fire will in that case get accumulated in your house, and therefore fire brigade has to be called earlier. So move people and valuable items to a safe place. So whatever valuable items you are having, keep that in hand and move them safely to any of the places. And your people also, family first. Store hygienic drinking water because they also bring a lot of rain and they can get areas flooded. So avoid contact with wet electric lines and switches. So do not make any contact with electric lines or switches. Okay, because they can cause short circuit. Now recently there has been a flood. Did I give you any example? I think so. Okay, I'll give you the examples at the last. Okay. Earthquakes. The surface of the earth has a number of interlocking plates on which the continents and ocean rest. These huge plates are known as tectonic plates. So, the plates which are below the earth are known as tectonic plates. Okay. Below these plates lie a layer of molten material called magma. Now, below these plates, suppose these are the tectonic plates, I'll show you. These are the tectonic plates that we have on the surface of the earth. Okay. And this is the soil. And this is the magma or the molten material. Now, see the changes. So, when these plates move around slowly, okay, this part, which brown part I drew, this one, huh? Yes, this brown part which I drew, it's always in movement, it's moving. Okay? And magma is actually liquid. Okay? So it's moving over this liquid, it's floating. So when these plates move around uh, slowly on the magma, they rub one another and a great energy is released. So suppose these plates collide or they rub against each other. Okay? The collision is created. Okay? Great energy is released. And the surface of the earth means this black part, it also shakes. Okay? Violently, and the shaking of the earth is known as earthquake. Now wait a moment. Now see. Now did you understand? So the spot below the earth's surface of the earth where the tectonic plates rub each other is known as the focus or the seismic focus. I hope you understand. Seismic focus. The point right above the focus. Suppose the focus is located over here, and this point right above in the earth's surface, on the earth's surface, is known as the epicenter. Okay? This area is where the earthquake is the strongest and the area suffers the most damage in the earthquake. So this area faces a lot of damage during earthquake. Okay, so What are the safety measures you must take? If you are in a building, then lie down or get under a table, bed, or desk, or hold any fixed thing such as a window and wait for the earthquake to cease. And if you get down of anything, make sure that it's hard and a strong metal or made up of wood. Okay? You must make it sure. Next. If you are in the open, keep yourself away from buildings, towers, electric poles, and trees and lie on the ground. Hold the ground with the palms. What did I say? Hold the ground with your palms. Now keep yourself away from tall buildings, towers, electric poles, and tree. Because why? If they fall on you, then you will die. And hide under a table if you see earthquake, because the houses, the interior parts of the house will also break during that time. If you're driving a vehicle, park the vehicle away from poles and trees and stay inside. Do not get out of the vehicle. Just park a vehicle to a safe place where there is no poles or trees, open ground, and stay inside. Next is tsunami. Tsunami is a huge wave, okay, in the ocean that develops a result of the underwater earthquake. So there are many mountains, or not mountains, I'm sorry. There are plates also under the water, okay, and they cause underwater earthquakes. Now during this, tsunami can be there. It can rise a height of 100 feet, okay, tsunami, waves of water. A tsunami can travel much faster than a commercial jet. Jet planes fly at a great speed, but tsunamis can be much faster than a commercial jet. It is this powerful wall of water reaches the coast and causes a lots of damage to life and property. Okay? Because they are 100 feet. Think how much they are. Calculate in kilometers. And a safety measure, when tsunami wave starts to strike at the coast, the best thing is to run away from them. A 10-kilometer distance from the coast is a safe distance, but still now we cannot run that 10 kilometer. We cannot save ourselves. So, I am telling you a small tip over here for your own safety. You need not write it in your papers, just here for your own safety. When you see suppose you're standing on a coast and playing, okay, or you're building a sandcastle, anything you're doing, and then you are seeing that they are on like they, you will notice that many of you who travel to sea often, like me, then you will notice that uh, when waves strike hard on us, suppose you're bathing on the sea, okay, and when a wave strikes hard on us, it go very far and gains its energy deep into the ocean. So I have also experimented this, seen this, okay, and then it comes fast and it strikes your legs, okay. So when you see a wave going very far from you, during bathing or during your building your sandcastles in anything, going very very far from you, and it seems that yes, it's a tsunami, then run away from there during that time. Before that we cannot understand what is going on in the ocean and etc. Okay, still now there is no solution to this. Now when tsunami starts, you cannot run because it will travel much faster than a commercial jet. So when tsunami will gain its power, then try to run. Okay. So, drought. A drought is a condition when there is no rain, and lots of rain is in floods, and no rain is drought. Okay, over a long period of time, when there is already an acute shortage of water for cultural and domestic purposes. Agriculture in India is heavily dependent on monsoons. Okay, in case if the rain doesn't occur, the rain fails, the crops dry. The ground dries up and becomes infertile. Crops cannot be grown on such land, and shortage of food, which causes deficiency, diseases, and malnutrition, is all around us. Okay, it causes starvation and death to a large number of people and cattle. If we cannot eat, then we will obviously die. You all know that. So in India, Rajasthan and Gujarat are the two states which experience drought frequently. Deserts. Okay, Gujarat is also a very dry state. Safety measures. To prevent drought, we must grow more and more trees and save every single drop of water. This is very, very important because trees bring more water. Building reservoirs to store waters and rainwater harvesting are the important ways. Now please harvest rainwater, store rainwater in any of the container you get. Okay, important ways which should be adopted to tackle drought. Now, what is a volcanic eruption? A volcano is a hole on the earth's surface. Not hole, it's a vent on the earth's surface. The interior of the earth has magma. I told you during earthquakes also. In some of the places, the magma finds a vent or a crack and gets through the surface of the earth and comes out forcefully. This is known as volcanic eruption. Magma that comes out from the volcano is known as lava. The lava may accompany particles of rock, steams, and gases. Flowing lava is very hot and destroys everything in its path. Safety measures: volcanic eruptions are predictable. When there is a prediction of volcanic eruption, evacuate the place immediately and take shelter in a safer place. Obey the evacuation rules given by the authorities because they know the best. Now, several government and non-government organizations have been put up to rescue us from disasters. Apart from them, we can also put our help for disasters relief. Now, what are the governmental organizations for all this? Like some of the government agencies are the defense force, the police, the hospitals, the fire stations. Now, defense force, you may know that the army fights the enemy, but in case of a disaster, it is also their help, their needs for us to rescue them. Okay, the three armies of the defense force, army, navy, and air forces, use their resources to help the people. The police also help in rescue work. Okay, moreover, they help in the maintenance of the law and order, so that some bad people cannot take advantage of the suffering people. Okay. Hospitals, disaster results in the large scale injuries and death. The doctors, the nurses, and the other staffs of the hospital help out the people. Disaster can also result in breakout of disease. Doctors also help in it. Okay, this is known as epidemic or endemic, pandemic, which we are having nowadays. Firefighters, the disaster can result into fire also. The firefighters from nearby fire station come into their vehicles to extinguish fire and leave the life and property from destruction. So they evacuate the nearby fire station, and come to extinguish fire, save life, and distract them from property. What are the non-governmental organizations? So our national and international non-governmental organizations, you have often heard the name NGOs, and the United National Disaster Management Team, UNDMT, also provide aid and support to the affected people. Several non-government organizations collect donation and other essential commodities and distribute them among these people who are afflicted by the disasters. Now, examples of some of them are the Red Cross Society, the First Hand Foundation, the Chief Relief, and CRY, you must have heard, and WIDE, that means Volunteers for the Indian Development. Now, what can you do? Now, though you are a small child or if you are reading in class 5, you can also help immensely in the relief work. You can inform the rescue workers whenever help they have been needed. Always keep the contact numbers of police station, fire station, ambulance, etc. I hope you know them. Police station is 100, police station 100, I'm writing down also. Okay, fire station 101 and hospital 102. Okay. So you can call them immediately for the help of victims. You can also donate your old clothes to the organization who are working for the disasters victims. Your school might have asked for funds during a disaster. You may give it to them. Now I was telling you that I'll give you examples of everything. So now just wait. I am giving you the examples right away. First of all, we have the flood. Flood examples every year. It occurs in Bihar. It's also known as the Son River. Okay, I'm writing the name also over here. The Son River. Okay, it Son, or maybe you can call it Soni. Okay, it also this river is known as the sadness for Bihar, because it's also a very fertile river. It brings soil which is very fertile and left over the drought, and which is used for agriculture and cultivation. But then floods are every year occurring over here because of the overflowing of the Sony river or the Son river. Cyclone, recently we have faced. Amphan. Many others were coming. We had the Bulbul also. Right? Yes. Now earthquake. The earthquake in Bhuj, Gujarat. Now this earthquake was in 2001. And what did I say of that? Bihar? What did I say of this Bihar? Bihar, it occurs every year, okay? Next we have the tsunami. Tsunami, we had it in 2004. It was striking the regions of Chennai, the Coromandel coast. Okay, don't write Chennai. Better you write the Coromandel coast. Yeah. And droughts, we have it in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay? And you can write of the severe famine. In Bengal. Famine means drought, okay? In the year I am writing 1773, okay? Bengal suffered a huge famine. Okay, next. So you don't have any more, but I'll give you a few more for your reference. Just wait a moment. I'll give you a few more. If you are talking about landslides, then write about a landslide in Uttarakhand, which had occurred in 2014. Okay, and if you are asked of an epidemic, okay, if you are asked of an epidemic, then you can write about the plague which often struck Europe. Plague which often struck Europe. And if you are asked of a pandemic, then you can write COVID-19. Okay? So this was the video.